We've got the Texans and the Chargers. LA laying 3. We've got a total of 43.5. 88% of the bets right now to BetMGM are on the Chargers. Road favorites here. And Jenks, we've talked about this briefly. I think both of us kind of like the Chargers here. But here's a question. Do you ever feel uncomfortable taking a road favorite in the playoffs?
No, I don't. If I like to play, I like to play. And also, the Chargers have been very, very good to me. They've been very good this season. Past couple weeks I've been on the Chargers. They've been covering. The Chargers are the second best covering team in all of football. So that goes home, on the road. And I understand that certainly, when you're talking about the playoffs, there is a home field advantage that you have to account for. But it just depends on the spot. It depends on the team. And I just love the way the Chargers are playing right now. It scares me that 88% of the bets are on the Chargers -3. Like I get nervous when I feel like I'm being a square because everyone is on one side. But I mean, you can obviously make a case for the Texans, but I really like the Chargers here. Opened at 2.5, went to 3. It's going to be hard for me not to bet on this game. The only thing that gives me pause is the amount of bets, because I feel like, you know how it is when everyone is on one side. Then you think, well, maybe this isn't the right side, but I love LA here.
Yeah, I think this is one of those where maybe you don't let the public change your opinion, because you've also got to remember that I would say the most of casual bettors are betting on games the day before games or the day of. So it's still pretty early. I'm not saying that these are sharps betting on the games now, but maybe, we'll see a different number and percentage as the game gets closer towards game time. I think for the Chargers, it's not a team that has like a great home field advantage anyway. Because if you look at them, they have a great record away from home this season as well. 6-3 on the road and 7-2 against the number when playing away from LA. They get to go indoors as well. I think this makes it easier on guys like Justin Herbert. But I think the X factor here is the run game is back. Now that J.K. Dobbins is back under center, helping that offense, this is the Chargers team that I want to trust. I'll trust the head coach that I think has a bit of an edge in these big playoff games, and that's Jim Harbaugh. And I like the Chargers here. So feels like we're both on LA to cover and win in that one. So let's go to the next one. Steelers and Ravens. This is a pretty big number. Baltimore laying 9.5 at home, total of 45.5. I'm a little torn on this one, Jenks, because I do think Baltimore wins. There's a chance that they win this one big. We've seen this story already this season, but 9.5 between two division rivals, the third time they're playing this year. I don't think this is one I'm probably playing on the spread, but do you have an initial gut feeling here?
Oh, man. This went from 8.5 to 10. Like, now the Ravens are laying 10 points. I mean, the Ravens are just a bowling ball. What is it? A ball of butcher knives right now, just rolling along, just carving up people. And Lamar Jackson, I think, I definitely did not get that right. Lamar Jackson I really still think there's a chance that he could win the MVP because Josh Allen sat out the final game and Lamar was so dynamic, setting records in the process. But I still don't know that I would lay 10 points here. I mean, that's so many points for a playoff game. Here's the thing, is that the Ravens look incredible right now, and I believe the Steelers have lost, 4 straight? So the last time we saw the Steelers and Ravens play, the Ravens dominated. But before that win by the Ravens, the Steelers had done a really good job of either beating the Ravens or controlling Lamar Jackson. And so at this point in a playoff game, I feel like I would have to lean Steelers. I don't know if I can lay double digits in the playoffs, despite the fact that Baltimore looks great right now. I don't think I want to bet on this game, and everyone's going to be on the Ravens. We're seeing 77% of the bets on the Ravens, but I think I would lean Steelers just because the spread is so big.
I don't think that I'm going to play this one, but let me throw this at you. How about the bet that we had over the weekend? The Ravens have been a cash cow in the first half of games, but you still have to lay 6 in the first half. If you look at the Ravens, they led both of the games between, them and the Steelers. They led 9-7 in the matchup that they ended up losing at the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at the one that is more recent, when the Ravens won 34-17 overall, at halftime, they were up 17-10. And this has been a season-long thing. The Ravens have been one of the best first half scoring offenses in all of football, putting up almost 15 points per game on average in the first half. So, Jenks, what about a first half bet?
Oh, I like that. That came home for us last week, like you were talking about, and I would feel much more comfortable doing that than I would laying 10. And of course, when you're talking about a number that big, if the Ravens are leading big late, there's always a possibility of a backdoor cover for the Steelers. So I would much rather take that bet than a full game double-digit spread in a playoff game between division rivals. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the toughest one for me to make a call on. How about the Sunday slate? We've got Broncos at the Bills, where Buffalo laying another big number here, laying 8.5 at home, total of 47.5. So a couple routes you can go in this one. I think you had mentioned something about playing an over. I think that's a really solid look. Would need to check on the weather first, or what about a side? Buffalo's laying 8.5. I know we don't have my teaser Tuesday today, just because it's the playoffs. There's a limited pool of games to choose from, but I do think this is a good teaser leg. If you tease down Buffalo to 2.5, I do think the Bills ultimately win this game. It's just a feeling. This year feels like the year for the Bills. Josh Allen is playing an MVP level of football, and plus rookies in the playoffs. This is one angle that I think is a good one. Bo Nix has been really good, and I do think Sean Payton has put together great game plans at putting him in good spots to succeed. But still, I'm going to take the high-powered Bills offense to get it done at home. Put them in a teaser. They're laying 2.5. But, Jenks, weren't you saying something about the over?
Yeah, I like the over here. And see, now I might lean Broncos too, because we've gone from 7.5 to 9. So still, I think the over is probably the way to go. So 47 and a hook, I think, is doable. And here's the thing. Like, the Broncos are very good at stopping the run, right? That's one of their strengths defensively. So what does that mean? It means I think Josh Allen's going to air it out, which means a lot of points. And then conversely, we've seen from Bo Nix is having a really good season. And I know last week is a bit of an anomaly because the Chiefs weren't starting everyone. But over the course of the season, he's gone from, like a lot of rookie quarterbacks, dinking and dunking to throwing downfield and being the quarterback that they thought they were going to get when they drafted him out of Oregon. And the Bills are okay defensively, but they're not a unit that is going to stop you all game. Like, you can score on the Bills. So I think this is a game that goes back and forth, and this is a doable total. Both of these are over teams. Yeah, I'm going over here.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. I just checked on the weather, and it's pretty much what you're going to see in Buffalo this time of year. A high of 30, I believe, and snow showers. So that's pretty par for the course in Buffalo, but it's not like we're looking at two warm weather teams. Buffalo, of course, used to playing in the snow. I would say that's probably the case for Denver as well. So maybe it doesn't affect the total, but I will say this: open at 47.5. Now it's down to 47. And the spread has gone to 9. So I think it's still a good leg for a teaser. You're still getting it at that key number 3. That's maybe one that we'll monitor throughout the week as we continue to place our bets.